All right. We're going to try and make this a 2-part or a 3-part about online dating, Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid. Here with Nick and Trevor.
What's up?
We're going to cover what we can. We might cover a lot of ground in 2 hours, too.
All of the ground?
Don't tell me what to do.
But I think this is a big-ass topic, so we'll have a lot to talk about. So where do you want to start? Let's start with the fucking gargoyle, for one.
So you were supposed to be at work all day, which is when I can bring this janky ass hose over.
You know I'm coming home for lunch, and I gotta stare at your gargoyle.
You weren't supposed to be here. So, I don't know, I've been talking to
Tell us how you met.
Tinder! The place where all romance fucking starts. So, girl hits me up on Tinder, cute face, I mean, she's like a 14er. But the thing is that she's got these gigantic...
To clarify what a 14er is here, it's a very clean-cut way to refer to a girl who's got 20 extra pounds on her, who might be cute if she lost those 20 pounds. It makes sense in Colorado, because people are always talking about climbing 14ers.
Well,
so when you can
summit one today.
When you summit a 14er, it's something worth talking about.
So... Anyway, girl drives 45, 50 miles to get here. Kind of fits in with the rest of her day, kind of doesn't, like whatever. So she comes over earlier, like 11:30 in the morning, which I don't know what to do with a morning date. This is a first.
Morning dates? Why?
I don't know. It just, that's how the timing worked. So, girl shows up, and I mean, she's wearing like some fall clothes, a little bit baggier, a little bit heavier stuff, and so... Like, she gets out of her car, and I can't tell if she's got, like, a stomach on her, or she's just got some, like, gigantic tits that are covered up with a scarf that drapes down over that. So I know she's got, like, kind of a thick center, which is fine. Like, I can deal with that, no problem. Because every now and then I like to ride in a Caddy as opposed to, like, a Ferrari. So, anyway, a girl comes up, like, we jump straight in the car, we go to, get breakfast, and then we got coffee, and... went and ate at a park and talked and bullshit the whole time. It was actually shit conversation, shit date. But she wanted it, and I wasn't particularly disinterested in not fucking her, so like, whatever, so I fucked her. But you walk in as we're like finishing coffee, and like, I don't know. You walk in and you give me this look of pure judgment. I'm like, you weren't supposed to be here.
Yeah, because who keeps a girl over that long?
She'd only been here for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, but it was lunchtime. I have shit to do.
And I've got some jank-ass 14er to fuck. So, anyway, you come in, and I can tell when you didn't eat and you left this. This would be one I needed to fucking get the fuck out of here. So, like, I get her into my room, and I take off her shirt, and I take her bra off at the same time. Of course, she specifically wore a front clasp bra to try and fuck with me. And, of course, she was all surprised when I, like, snapped it right off because she's, like, mid-sentence about, you're not going to get it. And I'm like, done. So I, like, take it off, and she's got both of her nipples pierced.
Isn't
and
that
these,
the
like,
greatest when you impress them with your bra undoing skills?
Bra undoing skills are, one thing that, okay, you've got experience. When you can take out her earrings and the stud on the back with your tongue... And she doesn't even know till you take them out of your mouth and hand them to her and go, here, you left this. And then you're nibbling back on her ear. That's when she gets impressed.
I prefer them just leave their earrings on and lose one in my sheets.
I don't want that shit.
I don't know why are you taking their earrings off at all?
I don't know why you're nice.
Just to fuck with them. Because the whole thing is, when you take that out and you get both the little rubber piece or the backstop, depending on which style it is, and you get that out and they don't even know it, they're just like, oh, he's nibbling on my ear, it's great. And then you're like, here, you left this. Or you take them both out and set them like on the nightstand, and she doesn't realize for like another hour, where's my earring? Did we lose it? No, it's on the nightstand. And then she's like, oh, what? How'd you? And you're like, don't worry about it.
Bitch, I'm magic.
You might as well start picking girls' ears and selling their earrings. David Blaine style.
I never thought about that shit. Anyway, so she's got both of her nipples pierced. She's got both her nipples pierced. She's got her belly button pierced.
Oh, you did?
And then,
This shit is strong, nigga.
And then I get her pants off, and that's where things kind of went a little sideways. I'm like, I gotta commit to this, because she bought my lunch and coffee and everything, and she's like done all of the footwork on this. I'm like, I'm too much of a nice guy in some ways, and I'm like, fuck, I've already got it here. I've got it locked down. I'm not fucking anything else till, 7 o'clock. And so, like, fuck it, why not? I get her pants off, and it smells like a goddamn Seattle sushi market. I'm like, fuck! And then I see that she's got her clit pierced. So we mess around for a little bit, and I get her off a couple times with my fingers and whatnot. And, then she goes down on me. And, if anything, a bigger girl's got to prove that she's got skills. Like, she's always got to try and one-up everything. She went down on me, and it was probably top 15. Like, it was great. Like, I was thoroughly impressed.
Shut up, Trevor. Top 15?
They all kind of blend together after a while.
We're talking to a man who's surpassed 100.
I don't even keep... I keep track of...
116 right now.
I keep track of top 3.
You can say top 15. I'm not going to debate you on
that.
All
right, so we got to stay... Okay, so I want to talk about what did her profile look like? What does your profile look like?
All right, so my profile picture has got, like, that picture of you, or picture of me that you took on that camping trip where Sam damn near totaled my car. Like, in the hammock.
Yeah, by sneezing on your hood. Your piece of shit car worth a nickel, according to the insurance company.
I got money back out of it when I totaled it immediately after getting it out of the shop from when you hit it. So, like, that picture of me in the hammock and looking all douchey with like the guns and silencers and shit. Like, I got that. I got a picture of me, and I've got a picture of me hanging out of Tim's car up by Horsetooth. Got a picture of me, and we're doing like 80, and I'm hanging out of the car, and I take a selfie of me. And you see, like, Horsetooth in the back. It's right at sunset. And, like, I put the mileage on there of, like, how fast we were going with a little Snapchat filter. Like, it was great. But I think my profile picture is me behind a 50 cal rifle. But it's not me being behind the 50 cal that girls notice. It's the, picture of my ass, basically. Because I'm laying in the prone position. And, like, all these girls just pop up and go, nice ass. And I'm like, oh, and you're the one who's bitching about being objectified. I love those conversation starters. My profile says something along the lines of, I like my women like I like my coffee, strong, bitter, and from an oppressed third world country. And then the other one says something to the effect of, like, you can have whichever, whatever the fuck. It's like, I'm a cuddler, but I dibs little spoon, and I'll share my wine with you, whatever I don't drink, and then you can have whichever side of the bed I don't pick. It's like, I'm a gentleman in that sense. But get the fuck out of my way. And girls just find that, like, I don't know, it's cheeky. It's cheeky. Some of them find me funny or offensive. If they find me offensive, it's going to last about this long. If they find me funny, I'm in. And I can't remember what this girl's profile looked like. Frankly, I looked at a few pictures, like, all right, pass, good, we're good. And chatted with her, dating app to text, exchanging pictures, Snapchat, etc. It's a progression, that's pretty solid. And then meet up fuck. Yep. It's fucking easy.
It is. I agree.
I can tell you the routine before I ever meet her.
That's what I was telling Trevor. One reason, I don't know about you, Nick, but one reason I got off Tinder, and we reminisced about this. I
just last night.
I could get back on it. If I really wanted some, I could get back on it, but it's watching a NASCAR race, and from the time they wave the starting flag, I know where every car is going to place already. I'm gonna meet these girls. I know how the conversation's going to go. I know how the date's going to go. I know how it's going to end. It's just boring to me. So if I just need pussy, I'll go there. But it's not. And then they just start becoming a headache. I gotta deal with whatever repercussions follow up after. Like the scales have tipped.
But before you go on to talk about why you don't like it, what were you doing right?
Yeah, good segue. So once you figure out the type of guy you need to be to get a girl on Tinder, that's when the games became boring to me. We figured it out so well. You want to be on Tinder and Bumble, you want to be the guy who's maybe your next boyfriend material. Dudes are on there for hookups, and women are on there for, just like something everywhere else. Women are, something more is the best way to put it, yeah. Not necessarily love or husband material, but you're looking for something more. So you need to be Mr. Something More, because every guy on there is going on there and saying, hey, send me a picture of your tits.
Yeah.
And
whereas I've never done that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell girls.
I think
don't send me a picture.
That's probably the worst thing that you could possibly do when you get on there.
No, and I'll tell a girl, if I ask her for a picture, I'll say something along the lines of, send me a picture, clothed, nothing inappropriate, but make sure to throw in whatever physical feature, and it's usually like a smile, because I want to seem like Mr. Something More. And when you say, send me a picture of your smile, as opposed to send me a picture of your tits, that's when you're scoring points.
That's pretty good.
Because you've already distinguished yourself from the pack.
Oh, yeah, you're done at that.
Isn't hard on level 1. Level 2 is a little difficult. But, once you get past that barrier, then it's, you want to meet up, but how are we going to meet up? They don't want to feel like we're just meeting up to bang. Like, that's their barrier from minute 1. This dude just wants to bang me. So you need to falsify that barrier all the way up until the last minute.
Yeah, I think that the most successful profile I had was pictures where... So I found out a few things. You want pictures that you didn't personally take of yourself. So basically no selfies.
No selfies unless they're intentionally humorous.
That's possible. You have to look like you have friends. That's what really it boils down to. Because you don't want to be that loser who's just... It's way obvious when it's a bunch of pictures that you have of yourself that you took, and it's all, mirror pictures or whatever it is. It's way obvious that you're going for the vagina. Because you didn't put any effort, with quotes around it, into your profile. So women immediately go, all right, done. No.
And they'll discount a good body and a funny bio for that shit all the time. Easily.
So you have to get some funny pics that someone else took.
But show substance.
So yeah, you're showing substance by doing that.
And that's what your bio is really good. It's a good cherry on top thing. Like
show some wit, some humor, and a little bit clever.
No one's reading the bio until the 6th picture has been seen. Also,
well,
I don't read the bio until after we start.
I've actually heard women show much more interest in the bio.
Oh,
well, you might have a point. After seeing all the photos, you're right. Okay.
Women will dissect that. They didn't even swipe right on you until they saw picture number 6.
They look through pictures and then they look at the bio, then they swipe.
They want to make sure they find a picture of you jerking off to your calculator. Or anything.
This is an entirely different game for them. We look, all right, she's cute, swipe.
So I've had luck even just so it was funny how it happened. Some girl nexted me because she asked about my height, and we got in this conversation, and then it was over.
Always ask about your fucking height.
And that's fine. They are allowed to do that. It's a very superficial place. So she does that, and that really pissed me off. So the thing I wrote on my bio was, all girls are stupid. And that got me so many swipes because girls wanted to contest me on it. They realized, this guy doesn't give a fuck now.
The best part about that is, once they're in the arena with you,
it's done.
Not necessarily, but you have the advantage. They just need to enter your arena, and then you can take whatever angle you want, because you just need to open that line of dialogue.
It's funny.
They're playing
more
your
often
game.
than not, and here's the thing: more often than not, you would be able to court any of the 10s on Tinder who aren't swiping right on you on the most superficial level, but they just won't enter the arena with you.
But as soon as they're in your arena, they're playing your game, and they're on your court.
Yeah.
So you control it from the get-go. And I don't want to play power and control about this, but like at the moment where they're like, your bio is so funny, or your bio this, that, and the other, I mean, they're already feeding into your bullshit.
That's true.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great. Because then they get a sense of what you're trying to be funny, but at the same time, you're contesting them as women, and they don't like to think, oh, well, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid, so I have to tell this guy that I'm not stupid because I'm not like all other women. And it's like, yeah, you are, but they don't know that. So you after saying that, I got a bunch of it worked. It worked, and it was genius. I wish I thought of it sooner, but the more quirky you could be, the more the more give a fuck you... No.
fewer fucks you give, the more fucks you get.
That's right.
So, going back to the height thing, whenever a girl asks me that, I'm 6'1", but a girl be like, so how tall are you? And I'm always like, I'm 5'4". And then I sit there and fuck with them for a minute, because you can sense that they're shutting down at the point where you're under 5'10". And they're like, and just like trying to backtrack on everything, especially if they let the conversation go on too long before asking that.
That women won't ever cold cut a dude. Some women will cold cut a dude entirely, but I think most won't, which is what you're playing into.
Oh, especially because then I can.
Man.
I've been cold cut too, but it's a minority that does that.
I don't know.
I've
had a girl who I was the same height as, and she got upset. And initially I was like, I could kind of salvage this, but then I didn't even do it angrily. I just said, all right, go kill yourself. Like that. I just sent that text.
That's Nick not angry.
I just sent that as a like, okay, I know this is over. I just want her to unmatch me, and so I did that.
See, I play the, oh yeah, I'm 5'4", and then they backtrack for a little bit, and then after I fuck with them a little bit, which I enjoy, then I said, I'll backtrack and be like, nah, I'm actually 6'1", at which point they light right back up, and then they're back into it full force, because, then you're witty, funny, and a little bit clever. Because they
and
know
a little bit tall.
Oh, yeah, and then you're also the
6'1".
6'1".
So
bullshit. So here's one thing that I did one time. I undercut my height almost severely, and I said like 5'4", and she goes, oh well, I'm 6 foot, and I was like, ugh, because I'm 5'8".
Like, just my type.
and I couldn't come back with, oh well, actually I'm 5'8".
Right, because you're still underneath.
Under the height requirement.
Must be 6 foot to ride.
It's fine. I mean, I eventually fucked a girl who was 6 foot, and the way I combated that was she was like, well, I'm tall, and I was like, that's fine. I'm like, I was like, you're probably not tall enough.
Oh, and that's where I was gonna go.
That worked really great.
Because, oh no, you're too short for me, or too this, that, or the other. Because then they go back to having something to prove.
Right.
She's insecure once again. You're playing on their...
Yeah.
Every girl's insecure about her height unless she's 5'2". Yeah. That's it. It's funny you guys get this height question. I've never gotten this height question, and I've been on Tinder as long as both of you guys.
Longer.
I've never gotten the height question, and I don't know. I have a feeling that I never even remotely let the conversation get that close. I'm always on the offensive. I'm pounding away at what their profile's about. I'm constantly on their shit, and there's never a time for them to change gears to, oh, how tall are you? Because that's a pretty radical change of gears for most conversation. That means that the last topic is dead, and we're going to start talking about something completely different that I have on my mind. I mean, I had a canned answer for it. I was going to tell any girl I'm 8 feet tall. Because as soon as I say that, the conversation's over again, and we're back on to me being witty and goofy. But it's funny you both say that, because I never got it. And my pictures weren't any different than yours, and my bio was just as corny.
I think the picture of you sitting on the lawn chair with the beer at the bottom of the pool was probably its own level of gold.
Yeah, my pictures were... I probably had some of the best pictures on Tinder, but my bio... I was always weird about my bio. I don't think I ever got it up to par. I tried a few one-liners and all the tricks. I couldn't get it to work, but...
So the best thing I ever did was I had some photos that were kind of funny or like looked like I was like hiking or something like that. You got to have one that shows your smile too, because if you don't show your smile, it's questionable. Like what does that person's teeth look like? And if your teeth are fucked up, someone's just going to be like, fuck you and fuck your fucked up grill.
I do that all the time. If it's a great smile, you could be a 14er and I'll still give you a courtesy.
Oh, for sure.
Because a good smile is worth a hell of a lot more than anything else. Because definitely. I find a girl 10 times more attractive if she's got a cute smile.
Oh, yeah.
Those years in braces need rewarded with my dick.
Absolutely. Same thing goes for women looking for men. They want to see a good smile.
Yep.
Now, the other thing was I took a photo of me without a shirt on, and I did it with just like a timer on the camera. So no one else took it. But I've even had ladies be like, whoever took that picture of you is lucky. And I was like, damn right she is.
Oh, shit.
And I fucked that girl.
See, the picture of me behind like the 50 cal rifle shooting, it's kind of awkward, but in its own right, it has some value. is girls be like, so who took that picture? Be like, my brother. Like, your brother took an ass picture of you? No, he took a picture of me shooting his 50, not fucking, my ass. It just happens to be in the picture.
Yeah.
So that has its own quirkiness to it that it has paid back.
At one point, I went into like a raw experiment mode on Tinder, and this is when Nick and I were experimenting with like some of the most extreme ends of the spectrum on Tinder bios and photos. I was gonna go with the most raw, don't give a fuck, shirtless ab photo I could possibly find. So we had that pool party, like our first pool party right then, and I made damn sure that I was in the way, flexing and looking tan and good as fuck for one of these pictures just to use for this. And I put that on there, and I didn't necessarily get any more or less matches, but I got a very different flavor of match. I got some super superficial women, which is what we're looking for on Tinder, and the game changed entirely. So I was kind of split on, well, I'm not getting more matches, but my quality's changed entirely. So a lot of this advice is a little bit specific, but once I did that, Tinder became what I thought it should have been. Is like there's that first level of bullshit that's kind of out of the way. It made it a little bit easier on that front. I mean, I know that you had some shirtless pics too, because you were the one who was like, dude, you just got to put one up, like a shameless shirtless photo.
Well, so I think the reasoning behind that is your face can only do so much for women. So women have cleavage. They can show you how big, and they use it all the time. If they don't have cleavage, they'll use some other asset that they think they have, lips, smile, whatever it is.
I mean, it's a physical attribute that gets the swipes, gets the attention.
I've seen girls, I've seen a girl straight in her kitchen, one leg on the ground, the other one straight up in the air. She's doing the splits, basically.
Yoga things?
Yeah. So it's like they're trying to show off their attributes. That's basically what this boils down to, is we're all monkeys taking photos of us doing something to show that, oh, look at what my monkey self can do. But the reason being showing your pecs and abs and stuff like that, your body, is because that's ultimately what girls are looking for. They're looking to get turned on and wet by being like, holy fuck. And you always, I put it at like one of the last photos usually, because then by the time they swipe to that one, they were like, oh, I didn't even see that one when I initially swiped, because whatever your first one is, it's funny or cool or you look good, and then you match, and then there's always that level of like, okay, I need to get more details.
Second
and
review.
Then the second review. And so they'll see that and they go, oh shit. Like, damn,
I'm dealing with the triple threat here.
It's funny.
This guy will fuck the shit out of me. That's basically what they're looking for.
You're talking about this physical. I mean, I've talked to other girls. Whenever I get the opportunity, I like to look at other girls' Tinder pics on their phone. I love looking at their Tinder profile just to see what their pictures are, because I want to see what they're trying to portray. And shit, dude, we've hung out with a handful of girls who have no goddamn clue what they want, and I'll look at their profile and it's like they're doing so many conservative things. They're trying to uphold this sense of dignity,
but then they're basic and boring.
Right. Well, I think most of them are anyways, but
of course, but like, don't show me that up front.
They're not selling what dudes are buying. They're gonna get the same match having a conservative photo as they are having a revealing photo. I keep telling the girls, like, yo, add a cleavage picture, add a pic of you in a bikini.
But be tasteful about it.
So, yeah, well, I mean, most dudes don't even give a shit about tasteful. But if it's not even there, you might still be matching with 50% of your swipes, but you're missing out on another 25% by just showing a little bit more cleavage. Cause, dude, if their first picture has some cleavage on it, I might even be swiping before I open their goddamn profile. I can't figure out. Well, I know why. They're trying to uphold this false sense of dignity, and I guess if that,
or they're just basic and stupid.
Your boat float, but
I realize that determining whether you're going to be attracted to someone on just like swiping, it happens within fractions of a second.
Oh, yeah.
and you can figure that out real fast. Sometimes there's the ones where you're like, wait a minute, and you have to check the other ones.
The pictures and bio.
Most of the time it's fractions of a second. So within fractions of a second, if you go damn and you're already in, there's really, that's why I got really kind of irritated with this stuff, is because it was just like,
it's superficial as balls.
Well, a lot of women too are on there just for attention, and they know that they can get it, and so they're there to see if you're going to swipe on them, and then the moment that they find out that you matched with them, and then if you even send them a message, they already know. Oh well,
it's game over in their head.
Yeah, in their head,
Which is stupid. Like there's no actual gain on
it's
that.
It's stupid. There's no.
So
gain.
okay, go ahead.
Well, so I think you're right. A lot of women are missing out, not only because they won't put up photos, but because they're not willing to start a conversation either. So like I've matched with like really hot women, like 8 or 9. And I guess that would be like 20, 21, 22 at best. And they, I'll try to start a conversation. I started another one. I'll start a conversation with them, and then immediately it's dead silence because they go, oh, well, I already know he thinks I'm attractive. It's like, bitch, you have to talk to me too.
Okay,
there's another aspect to that.
You're tapping into something really good here. So what we excel at least Nick and I, Trevor plays a little different game, but we excel at this level of creativity and goofiness and fun that so many girls don't get exposed to, and you can't project that on a single photo that's 2 inches wide on your iPhone screen. So when they don't swipe on us, like, I'm a little bitter. I'm like, bitch, I know I could get you if we were at the bars, but I can't get you on Tinder, and that kind of, like, that shit chips away at you when you've swiped on 1,000 of those girls.
Well, of course, but at the same time, like, then just go pick up those same girls at the bar, fuck their Tinder, or the morning after you fuck them, you're like...
It's frustrating when you're in the
moment, they'll be like, I
though.
swiped left on you on Tinder, and I'm glad I fucked you.
It chips away at you when you're on Tinder, though, and it happens over, and for some reason...
Different settings.
The accumulated bullshit that Tinder adds up to hurts more than the single rejection at the bars. I'll take a rejection at the bars over the 100 Tinder swipes that tell me no, even though I've slept with a girl hotter than you and more interesting than you. And in my head, I'm like, what? Like, I'm not even upset. I'm just kind of mad that entitlement has gotten to that level.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately why I got rid of it. It's like, I don't need this. I'll go out and play the game in real life.
All right, so I guess we'll start talking about some shit that I've done with Tinder and how I've just royally.
Let's talk about opening lines for a
yeah.
minute
I mean,
here.
we're at the point of post match. You've gotten the match down. All right, so everybody swiped right. You've matched. Where do you go? How do you do it?
I always try to. Hold on. Oh, did you drop some coal?
A little bit. Sorry.
The dog's eating it.
We'll edit this out.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
No.
I always try to go to. I take something from their bio and completely misinterpret it and throw it back at them. So I take their job or I take their education. Like, I'm studying to be a therapist or something, and it's like, oh, can you help me get the scarred images of my mom killing my father out of my childhood in my head, like, when you graduate? And at that point, that conversation can go one of 1,000 ways, but at least it's going to go. I'm not saying, hey, I'm not saying you look sexy, I'm not asking you out right away. I'm laying down the ground rules for... This comes back to what I was talking about earlier. I am opening up a hard can of, hey, I'm interesting and I'm funny. Like, I've got these levels that I can't portray in my photos. I open with that as soon as I can. It's a hard and fast start because I'm not
the game you're playing.
I'm not the most attractive dude on Tinder, but I guarantee I'm one of the wittier and the smarter dudes on Tinder. So I need to take advantage of every second I've got right now, because if I send 3 or 4 messages, she's losing interest exponentially. Hard and fast start. Keep that interest up.
Okay, I'm going to disagree on a whole level. And you play
for
a different
me
game.
Or for you? Yeah, that's what I'm...
Because we're on entirely different... Like, I sit there and I'll play the long game just to fuck with them and enjoy the little bit of torture along the way, that's fine. What I do, and keep in mind, I interview people for a living. So the first thing I do is open up with a diffusing-ass question. Because they've already swiped. There's already some mutual interest there, and I don't need to exploit that. I don't need to be like, hey girl, you look sexy. There's no reason for that. 90% of the time I open up with, hey there, how are you? Asking how somebody is actually forces them into a position where they have to think about, like, how am I doing?
I disagree. I think girls come back with a canned line and just say, good, how are you?
Okay.
More often than not.
And I can keep going with that. Keep in mind, I talk to people for a living. So I sit there and I'll like, I can spin that, push it, asking follow-up questions. Like, I can do that all day. And I'm going to just, like, keep pushing that in a direction. Keep in mind, my conversations are going to be much longer and less canned than yours. So, like, they can give me that canned answer, but I'm going to get the shit I want out of them. So...
What's your level 2 then? I mean, that's a very soft level 1.
That's a soft level 1, but out of my people that I match with, I'm going to sit there and talk with them. And if they annoy the fuck out of me, I'm not even going to try and, like, I'm not going to meet with them. Actually, if a girl sits there and annoys the fuck out of me or says something that's entirely unattractive, my response in all caps is, left swipe! Just so they know, like, you hit a fucking boundary and you got work to do to make up for it. And they always do. So, there's that. But, like, I will always open up with the line of, hey, hey there, how are you? And asking them how they are, they've already swiped on me. So, like, I already know that, like, I'm set somewhat apart from the chaff that they've, like, normally swipe left or right on. And then asking how they are, I've opened it up with a fairly neutral, easy fucking question. I'm not harassing them about, their mom killing their dad or whatever the fuck you were saying. I open up with something fairly easy, something neutral that doesn't, put them either on the offensive or defensive. Something that they can either appreciate or not. Now, if there's something in their bio that I can immediately link to, or a picture that I could ask about, or, something stupid easy like that, that's fine. But then you're still at that level 1 shit. Like, I don't have a reason to push past level 1 on a girl on fucking Tinder. Like Nick always says, it's like, you're not going to meet the 1. You're going to meet people who are compatible. And at no point am I looking for the 1 because I reject the idea that exists. Now, if that person can sit there and engage me back in conversation, whether it's just a chat or whatever, like, we've started there and we're going to go there. And I'm going to talk with this girl, maybe hours before I even ask for a number. Or she's, like, sometimes I'll sit there and, like, I will wait on something. Whether it's a first kiss on a date or whether it's asking for a phone number. I won't go there. I have no reason to go there. And I'm going to push that out there because a lot of girls be like, why isn't he asking for my number? Bitch, because I don't need it and you're going to give it up either way.
It boggles my mind how different our games are because my play is to get your number and get you off Tinder within 3 to 5 messages. And I tell everyone that too. But, okay, for the general dude, that's good advice. Because it shows ambition and it shows courage or confidence.
There's a caveat there too, but I'll let you finish.
Once you get their number, you get them off Tinder, you stop becoming a Tinder guy and you start becoming this guy I'm texting, which is one step up from
Tinder. That's a level of growth.
Okay.
But especially... Go ahead.
There's a caveat there because you have to be ready to execute on setting up a meet.
Correct. In the next 2 days maximum.
Yeah, that's
the easy part. That's easy shit.
That is the easy part, but I've fucked up many times by getting their number and then they lose interest. One, because I think women are very visual, and if they don't remember who you are, they're still texting other dudes on Tinder. So if you haven't set something up and you're just doing this bullshit small talk stuff through texting, it's over. It's done. And I've had things fade real fast through
And the ones that fade, it's not just girls' interest fading, it's yours too. And if a girl is still texting you weeks after the fact when you've lost interest, or is still trying to, like, hit you up or chat you up, or, like, is trying to match with you on another app, like, fuck you, go away, stop your bullshit.
Yeah, you should run.
I generally do.
That bitch is crazy.
I've got a couple right now who are still like, hey, when are we going to meet? And I'm like, not. Or whenever I just respond with, left swipe, they just think I'm funny.
Dude, those got to be gargoyles for sure.
A little bit.